was the football guy, but like no one, like I never made a big thing about me playing for Tottenham.
So to everyone else outside of you, you're playing for Tottenham and you're doing well, but inside of you, you're really not happy.
Wreck. After the operation, like normally try and say get up out of the bed to get the blood flowing. I couldn't physically
you could
get
not
out of
do
my
it.
bed. That Harry Kane boy, I remember he scored 5 against us.
Oh, shit.
This is like a reserve team game. Harry was a
So
joke.
he worked for that.
He put on a showcase
Okay,
with all the man them in the end zone, man that have been released from clubs. And I remember playing in that tournament because I saw that as my last chance. The thing is, when I was arrested and I was in the cell, I was thinking, this isn't me.
Welcome to another episode of the Dr. Prince Show, and I'm your host, Dr. Prince OBE. And just for you, our special viewers, we have an absolutely fantastic guest. It's the one and only in the universe, Olumide Durojaiye.
Perfect.
Easy, champ. Easy. And listen, I've got to talk about this here.
Yeah.
Now, this is not the first time this has happened to me. I've got dressed, I've come here, and I'm like collared up with the same thing that the guest, but no one ain't talked about what they're wearing.
It's powers.
And I've done it again, but I've like smashed it today.
Wow, I'm excited.
Like, this is the worst. Like shirt,
black on
trousers.
This is safe.
And I've been avoiding wearing black. Like,
Why?
nah, I don't want to wear black. I want colours. You know, I want the show to be just bright. I wear different colours, stuff like that. And then I thought, yeah, I'm gonna bust black today. And then I come in and
I'm safe in black. I'm safe in black.
I feel you.
I'm safe in black.
I feel you.
Yeah.
What, is that actually like something that you like wearing, the colour black?
Black, grey, blue.
You look awesome in black.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so you know this show is about taking people on a life journey. Taking people on life journeys. And I just want the viewers to understand your life journey, what you've been through, your ups and downs, and so they can take something away for themselves and help to put something in their own lives and develop and grow from what you've been through, Olu.
Yeah.
And I know you've been on an exciting journey because I know you used to play in the youth academy for Tottenham.
Yeah.
And Tottenham Youth Academy is a great academy.
Great academy.
So let's just talk about before you got into it.
Yeah.
You know, what was life like leading up to that? How did you even begin getting into playing the scholarship? What was it like at home with mum and dad? The area you grew up? Give us some background.
So I grew up in North London, Tottenham.
Yeah.
And in Seven Sisters. So
Wow.
local
So
boy.
was I.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, bro.
Serious?
Yeah, Albert Road.
Okay.
Oldfield House.
Okay.
Oldfield House, next to Plevna Estate.
Yeah. So I grew up, so we first started off in near Twyford, Triangle.
Okay. Yeah.
And then moved to...
Yeah, I used to go around the Triangle Bear.
So moved to Sycamore Gardens, the flats opposite the big Tesco.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
Big.
where
Nice,
I grew up,
nice.
yeah. And then I went to St. Anne's Primary School.
Okay.
In Tottenham.
Yeah, I think my youths went there at first. We used to
is
live
it?
down West Green Road, Wolford Avenue.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember back in the day, there was a little nightclub called Silver City.
Yeah, I remember.
Really, bro?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago. So obviously my youths were, what year are you born?
I'm 92.
92.
Yeah.
So Kayan, the late great Kayan was born 1990.
Okay.
So you came 2 years after him.
Yeah.
And Tanisa was 87.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my first daughter was 87, and then my son was 1990.
Okay.
Yeah, so we grew up. I brought them up around them ends until they moved over to Edgware.
Okay.
And then kind of went over there from about 3 years old, 4 years old. No, I think he was older than that, you know.
So
yeah, he was older than that.
He didn't experience the great North London.
Yeah, he didn't get the fullness of Tottenham. He didn't get the full, because one of the things that Tracy, his mum, was talking about was like, I want to give the kids a better chance. And it can be tough for your kids in Tottenham.
Yeah.
Because of just the vibes of the youth mindsets that you grow up into around Tottenham, or what you can get drawn into, that negative mindset. Did you get drawn into it at all, Ollie?
Not in the beginning.
Okay.
At the beginning, it was like fairly innocent. Like, I didn't really get into much trouble. I was scared of getting in trouble.
Up to what age?
I think about 19.
Okay, that's pretty young.
So I was good. Like, I didn't do like none of the stuff that my friends were doing. I didn't get into much trouble. I was literally on the straight and narrow. So even like getting into fights, I had one little tussle, but it wasn't like a.
So you was a good you growing up in
I was a good kid. I was a good kid.
Who was that down to?
Parents keeping me grounded, and then I had like my grandma, like God rest her soul. She was like my rock, if that makes sense. She was the one that I'll never forget her. She was the greatest. She was the greatest.
That's beautiful. Grandmas play a massive part. Grandparents.
She was in Nigeria, but she always called. So every week you should expect to call. But like, she'll never let you speak, but
seriously?
Conversation, yeah.
But you were taking a lot from what she...
Everything she said. And then I remember she came to live with us for like over a year. And then that was the best. Like, I learned how to cook. My brother learned how to bake. Like, it was...
Beautiful.
And I've taken it on. I still cook now. I love cooking. So
do I, man.
Yeah,
We've got something in common there.
Yeah, man. So
Awesome.
I was a good kid. Very good kid.
That is fantastic, brother.
Yeah.
So coming up, you weren't a fighting man?
No.
You weren't trying to be no bad man?
No, I wasn't. No.
So how did football come into it?
Like me and my brother were pretty close. We used to just play football in the house. And then to the point where my mum said to us...
You never got in trouble?
Oh, of course, all the time.
Straight, bro.
All the time. We had our cousins around kicking football. Like, so we were close. So it was me and my brother, and then we had all our cousins. So there's probably like 10, 15 of us. Summers we spent together.
Beautiful.
Christmases we spent together. Holidays we spent together. Like, we were always together. So we always played football in the house to the point where there was a community centre opposite the Tottenham Stadium. It's still there now.
Yes.
So went to go play football there.
That's where Tottenham Enterprise Boxing Club is. Yes. And there's a little cage where the football...
Exactly. So we played indoors on the... it was indoors at the time. So the younger kids played indoors, the older kids went outside.
I hear you.
So we did that for maybe a year or so, and then play scheme. So I think I was around 7 years old. It's funny enough, like the guy that scouted me, I got back in contact with him like 2 years ago.
Nice.
So a guy called Anthony Ferguson, like...
And where did he first spot you? And what did he say to you? Is that a play centre?
At a play scheme.
God bless the scouts, going into the ends, going into the play centres and spotting talent.
It was like, so we did, where was it? We had a tournament, like all the play schemes in Tottenham. Did like a preliminary round at Chestnut Park. The winners of that went to New River. New River back then was, for me, the holy grail. The stadium. The stadium.
Trust me.
Like, that's where like you can make a name for yourself.
That was big.
Forget about Power League, forget about all that. New River was the place. Like, if you went to New River and you got spotted in New River, that was the holy grail. So I think I was playing with my old age group, and then the older age group needed a player. So I was doing well, scoring goals, and then I got moved up. So these times it's the final. So scoring, running, doing all sorts of bits.
That's a lot of goals.
I think I scored, I'll never forget this tournament, I think I scored like 10 goals. I was like 7 playing with an under 9s. So doing that, and then after the tournament, like Anthony said, oh, do you want to play for Tottenham? I said, Tottenham? I don't know. Like, went to my mum being African, not knowing anything about it.
What was your team?
I was just a play scheme. I didn't play for a team.
And how about just like as a fan, what team did you look up to when you were watching Tilly?
My dad was a Tottenham fan, so and I lived in Tottenham. I didn't know anywhere else. Like my friends would say they support Arsenal, whatever else, but because I grew up in Tottenham, I only knew about Tottenham.
Wow. So you hadn't experienced much.
No. North London was I hadn't gone out. The only place I'd been was Nigeria. Nigeria back to Tottenham. Back to Tottenham. I hadn't gone maybe gone to my cousin's house in South.
You hadn't gone London Bridge.
Nah. I
Buckingham
was
Palace.
inside Tottenham.
You
I
hadn't
didn't
gone
move
West
outside
End
Tottenham.
and all them places.
I stayed inside Tottenham.
Wow.
From the age of till after the point of me getting signed by Tottenham. That's when I started to venture out and see other places. But this was around
which
7 years
opens your mind, doesn't it? So we need, young people need to get out more.
They need to get out.
Instead of just staying stuck in the ends, because that's where your mind
and
is.
You're trapped
stuck in the ends.
You're trapped in the ends because you're only there.
Yeah.
So that was, I told my mum was like, doesn't mean you can get out of the house. No problem, let's go.
Cool.
Next week there was a ball court in Tottenham in the old Tottenham setup. So you know the stadium, there was a ball court just in there. Like, I think no one will remember it now. Only if you're back in the days, remember the ball court. Like, it was a large 9v9 stadium.
Yeah.
So parents used to sit upstairs in the glass compartment, and that was it. My first coach, Ray Nicholson, best coach I ever had.
Really, bro?
Best coach I've ever had.
What made him so good? What makes you remember him?
He made me understand what a football is. So it's not about just playing football. It's the technique of kicking the ball, striking the ball, how you control the ball, taking the ball on. And we used to play with these Brazilian footballs. So we trained with the Brazilian football. So it's like the heavy, like yoga bonita balls. So they don't bounce size one. Like, I think for the first hour, it's just ball skills.
So that makes it more difficult having that ball. So once you can control them,
once you can control that, you can control anything. So like you can see like the Brazilians, like how they are, that's what they play with.
I hear you.
So we played with that for like years, I think, up until like under 11s, under 12s, till we got another coach. Then
did you miss him when he was gone, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you see your development through that process? All the time you were getting better?
I was
you known at school for playing football? Would you be the guy that they would pick because they see that?
No, everyone. I was the football guy, but like no one, like I never made a big thing about me playing for Tottenham.
Okay.
I think even in secondary school, it wasn't till Tottenham went to my school to ask to go for day release. So we used to get taken out of school 3 or 4 times in a week to go and train with the youth team.
And that's when people saw them.
That's when the teachers knew. They just thought, this guy's a
joker. Just a football fan.
Just a football fan, not taking school seriously, joking around. He's got loads of potential, but he's probably not going to go nowhere because he's got nothing to fall back on.
Is that how you was known at school? Because you weren't really taking your...
I was a joker.
Okay.
I joked about everything, so there's nothing I wouldn't joke about. So, girls, man, them, everything. It was just, everything was just funny.
Yeah, because there's different characters amongst our peers, and there's always the joker in there.
I'd walk by myself.
Was that guy.
I'd walk by myself. I'd chill with the white boys, chill with the black boys,
see,
Indian kids.
You just
everyone.
Done you.
Yeah, I just did everyone knew. If we went Bishop Stotford secondary school, me in my green coat.
Bishop.
Me in my green coat, just walking by myself, like not bothering no one. I was just doing my own thing.
Wow.
But I knew what was planned for me, but the teachers didn't know, if that makes sense. So I didn't make a big thing about me playing for Tottenham.
And in your head, what was going on? What was happening in your mind?
Just enjoy as much as I can because I know.
Yeah, go on.
After this, life is serious.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like that was my mindset. Like. Because even so I remember the first time I got asked to play up with the youth team, I was 13 years old. And I think I had a sick tournament. We went to Vienna, played a tournament in Italy. Yeah. We won the tournament. I think I got in team of the tournament or something like that. I played really, really well. And then when I came back, the youth team coach, John McDermott, said to me, who out of your age group should go and play with the youth team? So I said, Stephen Corker, Chase, these are the players that I looked up to. Yeah. And they were like, he said, what about yourself? I said, me. I laughed. And then he had the straightest face and I was just like, are you being serious? He was just like, yeah, go and get your mum. I said, my mum's not here, she'll be back. She went to go and
So you didn't even realise you had that ability?
I didn't even take it in. I didn't take it in.
Until they said no?
Yeah, but I knew in my age group because I was a striker and then I got moved to centre-back. But I was only centre back because I could run with the ball. There was times where I'd get the ball and my brother would tell you, he would laugh about it now. They looked at me like I was a ringer because I was probably the same height I am now, I used to pick the ball up from centre back, beat everyone and score.
Right.
Pick the ball, run. But I just thought, this is just...
It's how it is.
I didn't care. I didn't have a care in the world. I didn't have a care in the world. Nothing mattered. Nothing. I didn't care. I wasn't interested in girls. I wasn't interested in none of that but football.
Wow, this is different, Olu. Because by this stage, how old are you around this time? 9, 10, 11?
9, 10, 11. And then when I got to like 12, 13, that's when I started to kick up the gear a bit. That's when I was like really going for it. So
when did you start? Do you remember actually starting to think, boy, I could be a baller up in this place?
Like that, after that tournament, I remember like John McDermott again, like very influential in my career and my development. He said to me as a centre back, if you're a centre back and you need to slide, that means you're not defended properly. That means you've done this wrong, you've done this wrong, you've done this wrong. And I was thinking, so I took that into the tournament, into the final, and then I didn't make a slide tackle, I didn't make an error, I was just so switched on. And I remember I was the youngest in the tournament, youngest in my age group at the time, or one of the youngest, and I was made captain of the final, and I was just gassed. I was thinking, this is a big honour. Like the team, we had Ryan Fredericks, Harry Kane, Alex Pritchard, some big names in there, Jake Nicholson, Nathan Byrne.
Easy.
Like my age group was sick.
Yeah.
Like it was sick, and then it got better as we went along.
Okay.
Me playing with the youth team at 13, 14 years old was the best experience ever. We went to Lille. First time I've been.
So imagine being around these guys and they're going to be like, some of them going to be like tops Premiership.
Jake Livermore was there.
Yeah, bruv.
I think Danny Rose was there at the time.
That's
some
dope,
big names.
Bruv.
There was some big. I can't even remember now because it's all fuzzy now.
And how old are you around this time? You 14?
I was like 13.
At this early age, you're mixing with this company already.
13. I got 13.
And then you go to Lille.
Yeah. 13 going into 14. Yeah.
And your parents are happy to let you go to Lille.
Yeah, like we went on. I think we went to go and play Lille. It was a one-off game, and because the culture at that time with John McDermott and Alex Inglethorpe was, let's go and play the best. So even like pre-season, we'd go to play against the better teams. We'd go to tournaments. So there was like the Otten Cup, Ajax Cup, Dallas Cup in America.
Yeah.
There's one tournament. Yeah.
Wow, so from not even coming out of Tottenham, now you travelling everywhere because they've seen the potential in you, and because you're now starting to focus on your craft.
I was just focused. That was it. Just football. And then I thought I'd never had an injury. Never thought anything could happen to me. I remember one time my back was hurting, and I was thinking, that's just nothing. Probably I'm just aching because I've trained with the youth team, played with the youth team, played with my own age group, played with the age group above mine, because at the time I was 14, playing with the 15, 16s, as well as playing with the youth team.
Yeah.
And then I thought my body was just breaking down. I was just tired, that was it. So I went to the physio, I said my back is hurting. He said, just put some heat on it, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then I remember we played against Coventry, I'll never forget this game. I went for a tackle and I couldn't get up. And I was laughing. I was thinking, like, I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my left leg.
How old are you?
14. So after Lille, everything's going good. Boom, my back. So then, like, we waited like 2-3 months, didn't play for like 2-3 months. I just thought, nothing of it.
What did you do about your back?
So the physios were like I was doing like rehab, innit? So it was just like arm bites, stuff like that.
Aren't you first supposed to find out what the issue is?
They just
Why
thought it was
couldn't you?
They just thought it was just build up, just too much overworking. I needed to relax.
Are you supposed to get a scan, though, King? And
we
to
did
find
afterwards.
How long afterwards?
3 months.
Oh, after 3 months.
After 3 months. So
why is that? Because it wasn't healing yet after 3 months?
After 3 months, it wasn't healing. So then once we had the scan, found out I had 4 fractures in my back.
Fudge!
Yeah. 4 fractures in my back. So then rest, and then these times I was made to have crutches because...
Okay, wait, stop. Because like, you know, I've been an athlete for how many years? I need to understand what's going on in a 14-year-old's mind who is playing with other great players, even though you don't know that they're going to be in the Prem yet, or yourself.
Yeah.
but you're still having a great time in life, and you still have the mindset that you think you're gonna go all the way
I was
by
positive,
now?
like I was
Okay.
like, even
So how
I
was you in the first 3 months? Was you
fine,
okay? You was fine, yeah?
I was just
Because
like,
in your head you're gonna come back.
no problem. People have had injuries before.
Yeah, cool.
Just stay positive.
Yeah, plus it's your first time.
Never have been injured before.
Okay,
Never
great.
thought nothing of it.
When did that change, and when did he start thinking more serious, like, shit, this is...
So I was in school, going out, I was coming out of the science block. My leg just gave way, my left leg gave way, and I was thinking, yay, problem here. My back was like spasming, like.
Wow.
Like, so when your back spasms or any part of your body spasms, it means that it's protecting something. So my back was protecting my back, my back muscles were protecting my back, my spine.
Okay.
So got to training, I'm actually, I can't wait to get to training because I'm thinking, this is a problem now, like.
Yeah.
So get to training, let them know, then we went to London Independence for a scan, I think the next day. They booked a scan the next day. And then 4 fractures.
That's when you found out the big news.
Yeah, that's when I was just
the worst
like...
news of your life.
That's when I was just like, yo, I think this is a problem here.
That's a massive problem.
But I tried to stay positive.
Okay.
Tried to stay positive. So they said, let's leave it 6 months. Your back should have healed by then. Let's get you on some this and that and this and that. At 14.
They're giving you hope?
Yeah, giving me hope. But these times, I'm not thinking about, I'm just thinking about staying positive, keeping my mind positive. I'm still not even at this time focused on girls or anything like that. I'm still focused on my
Just
back.
playing,
Because if my back is finished.
That's it.
Yeah, like.
You're finished.
That's all I ever knew.
That's
Football,
right.
football.
That's right.
And it's not like I'd taken school seriously, so it's like, that's the only thing I had.
I hear you.
So when we had, after 6 months now, my back.
6 months out?
6 months out.
No playing football?
So this is 3 months on top of the 6 months.
No kicking ball,
nothing,
no nothing?
Nothing. So just rehab, exercises, all of that kind of stuff to just strengthen my body, thinking that in the hope that my back will get better, that I'll get healed. After 6 months, my pelvis fractured.
Huh?
Yeah.
How?
Just,
if you ain't been doing much?
I don't know. So it's like we had a radioactive scan where they, I think they put something in my body and it allowed them to see what was wrong all over my body.
All over? I need one of those.
So my back, my pelvis was fractured as well. So.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll never forget this moment.
Why did you have to get that? How you knew something was wrong?
Because I was still in pain. Like the pain was different. Like.
Really? Was it a new pain then?
Yeah, new pain. So like my back, even like now, like I can't sit down for too long, or I can't go on long drives. I have to manage my body.
I hear you.
So I know my body. So like when I was younger, I was quick. Like I could 100 meters, 200 meters, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That was me. Like you couldn't catch me. After all of the back problems, I had to reassess how I move, how I operate.
Wow.
And it wasn't the same. Like even after I had my operation, like that at the time I didn't want to have, because they gave me the ultimatum. So you either have the operation or you're gonna face not being able to walk.
Did anyone talk to you about what was going on here?
No, no one did.
Because of what was going on here?
No one did.
So did you get to express yourself about, because I know you're young, but weren't you looked at the time as a little star sort of coming up?
Yeah. That was my thing. Like everyone.
Because you're playing with top boys
everyone
here.
knew who I was. Olu. There's only one Olu, like playing football that plays for Tottenham. There's only one Olu. Like even in the whole of North London, wherever, if you're talking about football, there's only one. If you mention Olu, there's only one of them. There's not. They could be Olu this, Olu that. There's only one Olu. So I was only known as Olu, the footballer, which. By this time, if I had an operation and if I didn't have the operation and I wasn't able to play football again or I wasn't able to do whatever again, I'd just be Olu. And I didn't know who Olu was.
Wow, that's big.
And then when you're at that young age, like, what else did I have going for me? Like, I didn't really do sleepovers with my friends. I didn't really used to hang around after school, because after school I had to go to training. So I had to go meet my friend's mum or my mum in Tottenham. So when I was in school in Enfield, take the bus to Tottenham to meet on my mum at her workplace, to drive all the way to Chigwell.
That was your route. You had a routine.
I had a
routine
of life. Friday night, I knew I'm either going to get a call up to play with the under 18s, or under 16s, or I'm going to play my own age group. That's my life was set. Like, I knew what I was doing. Like, every day, wake up. Even like now, I can't help but wake up at 6 o'clock. My body's wired.
Do you know what, bro? You're talking, and it reminds me, because you said something earlier about when you were at school, you just mucked around because you knew that, boom, I'm going to be playing football, and that was going to be your focus. So who cared? No. I remember Kyan saying that to me once, saying, Dad, you know, why do I need school? Because I'm going to be balling, Dad. And I said, son, remember my knee. Remember what happened to me. And I was 19 and 1 from World Time. I only lost. And I had an injury that was life-changing and ended my career at that time. So I wanted my son to remember that whatever God gives you, use it all. He's given you this. Use it fully. So if you're at school, son, use this fully. When you're playing for QPR, use those gifts fully. But wherever you are, use those gifts 100%. Give 100% in the classroom, when you're with your friends, everything you do. And you're saying that.
But do you know what? When you're at that age and your life is football, and you have a routine, and your safe space is in school, when you can just be a kid. Outside of the school hours, you're no longer a kid. You're a professional athlete. You are someone that is redeemed or looked as the next big thing, or the Holy Grail, or the star. So when you leave the school gates, there's a different kind of aura you leave with. It's not the same one that you're in school with. You're not like, it's not like, like you flick a pencil at someone or throw a bit of paper at someone. It's not that normal. Like, you carry yourself, like your chest is up, your back is like, you're like proper, like the way you walk is just completely different. Whereas in school, you're relaxed, you're chilled.
I hear you.
So it's like you're two different people in and outside of school.
Why? Because that system instills a certain way in you that you are this football star coming up.
So when you're in school, I'll never forget, when I was in school, it was, Olu, this is your time to relax, because when you leave school now, or when you leave the school gates, pressure.
You're giving me an understanding about why my son may have felt the way he felt. But I'm amazed at him still, because he actually improved his behavior at school and his results at school. And it was down to that conversation. So it shows me a lot about him as an individual, to take that on board. And he got like the most improved young kid with grades and everything when I went down to the school. So I'll never forget him. So I've got to give him mad props for that, because now you've shown me that this is how we might have felt. Like, Dad, this is why I'm just balling out. You know,
especially from when you're being given this responsibility from a young age. So let's say me was 7. I knew from the moment I walked into that ball court, I'll never forget. It felt like a dream. Like, there was clouds. You know, like when you're in a dream, it's like there's clouds. Like, you're in a fantasy world, like clouds. Like, it doesn't seem real, but it's real. When they give you your kit, it's real. When you wear the training kit, the match kit, you get your fresh boots, it's real.
It's real, man.
It's actually real. And then when you leave school, when you leave that place, because it's not like I was running around saying, oh yeah, I play for Tottenham. It's one about my business.
Okay.
If you knew, you knew.
You knew. Okay.
Well, it's not like I'd say, oh yeah, I play for Tottenham, or this is my thing.
So your ego didn't get the better of you.
I didn't. I just loved football. What it is. I just loved football. But then, after my back injury, that's when things started to change.
Yeah,
it wasn't the same, because I realized I wasn't the same. I couldn't move the same. I couldn't run the same.
How did that impact your mind?
Horrible, and it's still horrible. Like, knowing that, so like, I've had to change my game completely because at the time, I could pick up the ball, I can run past everyone, I could sprint, I could chase everyone, but it took maybe 2, 3, maybe 4, 5 steps off my actual, like, so then I had to learn, I had to rely on my ability. So it was like passing, I had to become better at passing.
You've gotten over the back injury.
Yeah.
You've gotten over the pelvic injury.
Yeah.
How long's that taken?
So I missed half of the under 14s year, most of the under 15 year. No, the whole of the under 15 year.
Wow.
And then I joined maybe under 16s. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, so.
Bro, that's serious.
Yeah. But I'd already been given my scholar from under 15, so I knew what I was doing. So there was no real pressure on that front. But the pressure was am I going to be the same?
Be the same.
Yeah.
See, I know what goes on in the mind. It gets messy. What was getting messy for you mentally, and how was it showing up? Because wasn't you still going to school even though you wasn't going to
Nah.
So your injury, you was allowed to say, I can't go to school because my pelvis.
So when I had when I had the operation, I couldn't go to school because I couldn't go up and down the stairs, and school hadn't planned for somebody with a disability or someone that couldn't.
I see.
So I couldn't go to
and
school.
You were missing education.
I got it from home, but let's be honest, I wasn't doing it. I was like upset that I couldn't walk, I couldn't play football.
Wow.
I couldn't do the things that I knew I wanted to do.
Who was doing it for you at home? Who was supposed to be taking care of the education?
Mum and dad. My mum and dad will get onto me, but at the time, like, they can shout and say whatever else, but when people start, and then it got to a point where, like, when people started getting on top of me, I just went into a shell. And then when I go into a shell, there's no talking to me. Like,
what did that look like? What does a shell look like? Olu in a shell.
Just blank out the whole world. Like, I just won't speak to no one. Like, me going to a shell would be me, let's say you're speaking to me, I'm not even listening. Like, we're having a conversation and I'm not even listening. I'm not even registering what you're saying.
Could you be looking at me? Would you be like this? How would
I'd be looking down. I had no eye contact with anyone. I couldn't look into anyone's eyes. I couldn't. Because I know if you look into my eyes, you'd see pain.
Wow.
And weakness.
Did your mum and dad see this? Or could they tell
how
bad
they could tell.
It was?
My mum could tell, my dad could tell, everyone could tell. Like, my dad used to be like, just stay positive. My mum used to be like, stay positive. Everyone used to like, to stay positive.
To do what they could do within their power.
I couldn't even sleep in my bed. I'd sleep downstairs.
Oh, I've been there, mate.
I couldn't get up the stairs. And this was like for like 4 months. Yeah, I couldn't get up the stairs. I physically couldn't get up the stairs. I remember I had to stay an extra week in the hospital, which Tottenham did everything. They paid for everything. They made my life so easy.
Okay.
I think.
Well done.
Yeah, Tottenham, they were amazing. But with that, I had to stay an extra week because I couldn't get out of my bed. I couldn't get out of my bed. After the operation, like, normally try and say, get up out of the bed to get the blood flowing. I couldn't physically
you couldn't
get out of my bed.
It wasn't mental, it was literally physically I couldn't
get
this.
Out. I couldn't get up.
That's serious, man.
And then they were like the nurse, oh, let's try again, we'll try again. The pain, I don't think anyone understands. As a 14-year-old boy, the pain that I felt wasn't like anything I've ever experienced. Nothing.
Bro, I feel you, man.
Like, and the things I have to live with the scar on my back. Like, it's like knowing. So like, even like now, if I lie down awkwardly, I'm in trouble. If I'm in trouble trying to wake up and get up the next day.
Bro, I don't even understand how these things can happen, like.
Yeah.
And there's no explanation,
there's
like,
nothing.
why'd your back go? What's going on?
Stress fractures, that's what it said. They said you were overdoing it. I was overdoing it. So the pressure that my body built up so much muscle, it almost crushed my back, my spine.
Fudge. So is it possible that you can push young people too much to do too much, and there's a lot of expectations when you see a gifted young man, a gifted young woman, and they're coming up and they can overwork themselves
100%.
to be champions and to reach this title and to get
100%. If you push, you can. There's all about, let's say, if you want it, go and get it.
Yeah.
There's all that talk, but in the same breath, like, you need to think, like, if I overwork my body and beat up my body today, and I'm not able to go again tomorrow, and then not go be able to go again the next day, my rest day is gonna be, it's gonna be in agony. I'm gonna be in pain. I'm gonna be in all sorts of stuff just to go again the next day. And you know, they say, oh, you'll get used to it. But how are you supposed to get used to something? If you're beating your body up,
that's correct. You need time.
I wasn't doing
Rest
weights.
is as important as playing.
I wasn't doing weights at the time. I wasn't doing anything. I was just playing football.
Just too much football.
Just too much football.
Yeah.
So I was playing school teams, Tottenham, you name it. Football demand them and
That's it. You got the club football and you got your school stuff as well, and then you got the mandem.
Yeah.
So all the time everything's
I'm
football.
playing football.
I remember my
all the
trainer
time.
saying to me, if you come with me and we start training, you don't do nothing else. No other sports, you don't do no other sports outside. Your football, he goes, what do you like doing? I said, I'm a baller, I'm a basketballer. Your basketball's done. That's what he said to me, your basketball's done. You just box. Because he wanted me not to be injured and not to overstress my body doing other things that I wanted to do.
But even then, like, because I was good at everything in sports, the PE teachers would say to me, join the basketball team. Cool, no problem. Bang.
Bang, that's right.
Cricket. Played cricket in school. People look at me and be like, African boy playing cricket. I played cricket.
Yeah, man.
I bowled, I bat, I did everything.
Right. Yeah.
And I was good at sports, athletics. I did hurdles. Like, I had the fastest time in year 7 and year 8.
Wow. Same. Just
I was
loved.
Gone.
Just loved sports.
I love it. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. So if you're telling me I can't do sports, you're cutting me at my knees, like my ankles. Like, I can't.
That could wreck anyone's life. But tell me about the process then, coming back and them saying, okay, you're well enough to come back. And you've come back with a different mind. You're not this free-spirited young guy anymore that just believes that the future is going to be golden.
And the thing is, the coaches didn't understand why I wasn't the same.
Wow. How can you not?
No, they didn't. The thing is, John McDermott, like, he was like there all the time. Like, he was like my dad away from my dad at Tottenham, and Chris Ramsey. They were there, my dad's away from my parents at home.
Yeah.
So I remember when I used to go and play, it would be, it's almost like, whereas before I didn't care if anyone said well done, but these times I was looking for it.
Yeah.
I would always look over the bench.
Need reassurance.
And I knew if John Mack was pleased, because he wouldn't, like, his arms wasn't crossed. His arms would be by him.
Wow.
When he was unimpressed, so I could tell that I always, if I made a header or if I made a clearance, I always look over, always looking for reassurance. And that stunted my development. Like, it halted me. Like, I didn't have a freedom that I once had. I wasn't a kid anymore. I wasn't that free spirit Olu. I was Olu that was just...
always thinking, am I going to hurt myself again?
Or am I even good enough anymore?
Because you haven't played for so long.
I didn't play for so long.
And then you got training to go through. And what was training like?
Training
Because was the man them happy to see you back?
Like, I remember, my first game back, everyone was ecstatic to see me back.
No doubt.
I played 30 minutes. I was so happy. Like, it was the best feeling in the world. Like, playing football again.
Wow, man.
But then 30 minutes, and then I wanted to do more, and then I wanted to do running after, because I wanted to get fit second.
Yeah.
No, relax, calm down.
Which they were right.
Yeah. But I was so happy to be back.
Yeah.
But they were like, no, Olu, relax, calm down.
Yeah.
Go again, 30 minutes again. Oh, I want to play longer, man. Nah, Olu, just play 30 minutes, that's it. Cool, okay, cool. 30 minutes.
Because it's a process to build
How many
back.
times am I going to play 30 minutes?
Okay.
All right, cool. This week, you're with the youth team. What? Sorry? What?
Wow.
That's when I was just like...
So to you, they're saying to you, you're not adding value to our team. Go and play with the youth team.
Yeah.
And that was more crushing.
That was... No, I was under 16 at this time.
Yeah.
Go and play up.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. So, like, I was playing 30 minutes in my own age group. Then they pushed me to play up with the youth team because I think someone got injured. So I needed to go and play with them.
And how old are they?
They were like 17, 18.
Okay.
So I was 16 at the time. But this is... When I was 14, 13, this was normal to go and play with them.
Okay.
But like now, this was not normal because I hadn't done it in so long.
Okay.
So I've gone.
So you felt pressure?
100%. 100%.
Okay.
100%. But they made me feel at ease. They made me, I think I had a good game. I think I had a good game. And like slowly but surely getting back to normality. But these times I had school to deal with, GCSEs. And then GCSEs wasn't the most important thing on my mind. What was on my mind was making sure that I do everything in my power. So that next season when I go and play, when I'm actually a youth team player, I'm mentally ready. Because right now I don't feel like I didn't feel good in myself.
Okay. What would have helped? What could maybe the team, Chris Ramsey, what's the other guy's name?
John McDermott.
John McDermott.
Yeah.
What could people around you have done in hindsight that could have helped with a conversation?
To be fair, they had loads of conversations with me.
Okay.
But this is something that I feel like as a man or as an individual, you need to overcome that yourself.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was running at a brick wall, running. Like John Mack, I remember, like, he would always do this. So let's say you walk past his office, office door is there. You used to sneak past his office because you didn't want him to call you his office because you didn't know whether he was going to grill you or not. So you call into his office, clicking his pen, like playing mind games, like just playing mind games, clicking his pen, looking at you, like staring you down, clicking his pen. You're there for like 5-10 minutes. And then like you've got that awkward smile, like you're like, oh, what am I doing here? Wow. I've got boots to wash, I've got things to do.
Yeah.
He'd be like, so why are you in here? Like, you called me in here, so get out of here, go. And then like, it will put a smile on your face because you're thinking like, even though he didn't say nothing, like just to give you like a bit of his time, like it was just like, because he didn't give anybody his time, like it was mind games, but it's like a guilty pleasure. You wanted it, but you didn't want it at the same time.
Yeah, I get it.
So like,
I get it.
You go there and he's like clicking his pen, or something. He'll do this. Like just play with your mind. You're thinking, what is it you want? What is it you want? But like stuff like that settled me down, if that made sense. That it calmed me down. But he can't do that for me all the time.
Yeah, I got you. Would a on board psychologist, psychiatrist, therapist?
Yeah, we got that. I got that like later on. But he would come in like once every so often.
I hear you.
But he wasn't like one-to-one personal. But like people didn't understand. So like I've missed out like let's say from year 7 to year 11 of just being a kid because I've had football to deal with. Then I've had this life-changing injury to deal with. Now I'm into the professional world as a scholar. So going in as a scholar now, it was just like, no, who am I? I didn't know who I was.
Wow.
Like, and it's taken me a long time, and I'm 28 now.
What's your goal scoring like at this point?
No, I was playing at the back, centre back.
Okay.
I was like,
I got you.
Completely.
That means don't you depend on strength, wisdom, being able to go in for tackles?
Yeah. All of that I could do. Mentally, I remember my first tackle. I was so scared because I was thinking, this hurts, but they said it's going to hurt.
Okay.
So my body, it healed, but it was like there's still like
healing to go.
Yeah. Like I needed to push through certain things.
Okay.
So if I didn't push through, even till today, if I didn't push through those injuries, mentally I'd be a lot weaker than I am now. I wouldn't be able to overcome so many things that I've been able to overcome.
Okay. So these other players that you're watching, Tell me about some of the careers that you've seen around you, who developed. You talked about Harry Kane, being around him. Tell the viewers what it was like seeing a little young Harry Kane, and was he always like that? Some people are just always talented and great. What was his journey
I'll
like?
never forget this. Harry was on trial at Tottenham when we were like maybe 12, 13. He got let go. The next weekend we played against Watford. Harry was playing. He scored a hat-trick against us.
Wow. So they let go of him.
Yeah, they just got a hat-trick. Then they came back the next week.
Oh my gosh. That's how you deal with.
Yeah.
That's how you deal with rejection.
And I was just like, yeah, this guy's cold. But then Harry was a midfielder then. He wasn't a forward.
Okay.
So Harry was always big. He was always chubby.
Okay.
So I remember under 15s, I was injured. So I saw everyone's development because I used to watch, but I wasn't watching my own age group. I was watching the younger age groups.
I see.
So I've got younger players now who, let's say like the Carl Walker-Peters that used to look, Jonathan Dinsies, what's this boy at Fulham?
Go for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of players.
Yeah.
A lot of players that I saw growing up that looking at it now, I was thinking, I remember I used to run around and I used to chase after you because you were getting up to no good, or John Mack would tell me to go and speak to that kid because he was messing up and I could relate to that kid. So, like, Harry Kane, that under 15 season, he was chubby at the beginning of the season. End of the season, I've got this picture at home, I'll never forget it. He is a stick.
Wow.
He's lost so much weight. And I feel like he needed to be able to get, because I think he was like one of the last to get a scholar.
Oh, really?
But like one of the first to get a pro.
Wow.
Yeah. So like.
So he put a lot of work in.
He put the work in.
Tell me about what you saw in terms of the work he was putting in, because there's a lot of ballers out there that think talent's enough.
So our youth team coaches, John Mack and Alex Inglethorpe, used to say, so like Ryan Masons and the John Obekers and Andros Townsends were before us, and we always used to say, oh, they're being busy. Why are they doing stuff before training? Like, why don't you do stuff after training? So Jonathan Obeka, he used to have this pole that he used to stick down by the ball cupboard.
Yeah.
He used to just do movement, just do movement, just do movement. I said, what's wrong with this guy? Like, he said, oh, like, it helps with my movement. It helps. So when I get into training, I'm ready to move. I'm checking my shoulders. I'm ready. I'm alive. And this. And then Stephen Corker, there was a heading trellis. So it's like a, you know, them American things where like they pat the ball and it spins round. Yeah. So, but it's for heading. So every morning, you can just hear, look out the window. Stephen Corker's out there. 1, 2, 3. Wait for the ball to swing. Like, and I'm thinking, what's wrong with this guy? Like, this guy is. But whenever a header come in, 1, 2,
on it.
1, 2, 3. Different ways of heading forward, sideways, other side. Like, his timing was impeccable, and it was all because of that heading trellis.
Wow. Practice. There's this thing they talk about. Whatever we do, and if we put in 10,000 hours of practice, we become an expert at that. Whatever it is we do.
And then Harry Kane's one was different because after training, we used to go watch the first team train. And like Jermaine Defoe, Robbie Keane, Mido, Van der Vaart. You're watching all these players shooting. Berbatov, just looking at these players shooting, and you're just thinking, flipping out.
Wow. That's some nice company to be watching.
And I remember Harry used to sit so close to the pitch. Like we used to like know our boundaries, to stay behind the line.
Wow.
Sit in front. Used to be like just watching, to the point where Clive Allen was like, Harry, come and join in.
Why? Because he went further than everyone else.
He was just there, like every training session he was there, like see it through to the end. See every session to shooting. He would make sure after training, wash his boots, run to the thing, go and watch the first team train. Go and watch the first team do shooting.
Wow.
Bang, shooting. Every day. And he's doing shooting every day. We played Palace. I remember I was talking to some boys on the weekend, some boys that used to play for Palace. And they were like, yeah, you used to play for Tottenham, innit? I said, yeah. I said, your face looks so familiar. Olu, innit? I said, yeah. I said, I remember when we played you lots. I said, who did you play for? He said, Palace. That Harry Kane boy, I remember he scored 5 against us.
Oh, shit.
This is like a reserve team game. Harry was a
So
joke.
he worked for that.
Nah, he was a joke.
See, this is what the young people need to understand.
Nah, he was a joke. And I remember like when I signed for Norwich, this is a little bit later on, signed for Norwich, Harry came on loan. Didn't play much, but that's still after every session, he was the first one in, last to leave. To the point where it made me realise, this guy's probably onto something here.
Yeah, bro.
Why didn't I do that when I was at Tottenham?
Yeah, bro.
So I remember joining in his sessions, and then when Harry left, I carried on doing it with some of the boys at Norwich. And then I feel like if I didn't do those things, I probably wouldn't have got my move to Scotland. Because the coach that was at Norwich at the time got the job in Scotland, took me with him.
Nice.
So, and this was just because
So you saw what Harry was doing and thought, I'm not joining this.
Let me try a thing.
Yeah.
Let me try a thing.
He's always in first and coming out last, putting the work in. It made a difference in your life as well.
Made a difference.
So where did you ever come to a point where you thought, yeah, my back's healed, my pelvis, was there anything? Did you ever feel like you came to a point where you were back feeling like you did before, Olu, I'm the Don?
No. Only, let's say, when I left Tottenham, when I got released.
What was that like? What was that feeling like?
That was horrible. Horrible. I've never been told no. I've never been faced any form of rejection. Never been said you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that, you're not this, you're not that. Never been told that. But I knew, I could sense it coming.
Was that because of what was going on in your mind and how you processed your growth within Tottenham and the injury and the impact of the injury? Talk to me about what was going on with the relationships with individuals. So, was there any changes with how they were dealing with you and what was you picking up?
So I remember beginning of the season, Chris Ramsey got the job as the new development coach, so 21s, like that's when, before under 23s, it was 21s, under 21s. So Chris Ramsey got the job, sick, called me, Olu, no problem, you're sorted, I'm going to look after you, all of this, all of that, no problem. Training, like, I didn't even play with my own age group after that. I was playing with the 21s, training with the first team all the time.
Wow.
And
does that help your development?
Yeah,
as a
100%. Because obviously you're then thinking, me already, I'm insecure.
Yeah.
I've got my own insecurities.
Okay.
So
that's built it, helped you.
Yeah, that's helped my insecurities.
Excellent.
And then what didn't help my insecurities was probably some of the sessions we had, which, looking at it now, the coach probably thought they were helping me, but I was struggling mentally. I was struggling with my insecurities. I had a lot of insecurities. And it crushed me, and like...
Which affected your performance.
And then like, I think, bro, like, how come when I go and play with my friends outside of Tottenham, I'm good, and it's not like I'm playing with crap players, I'm playing with other pros.
Yeah.
But why can't when I get to my own environment, I can't play like myself? I feel like there's a mental block that's allowing me to...
And tell me what that was down to.
Just the way I was managed, just the way that I was spoken to. Like, I remember, I'll never forget this one session we had. I was told I was not fit enough or whatever. And we did a defending drill, and I remember for like an hour of the session, it was me just working by myself. The players, everyone was, like, I was still Olu.
Yeah.
I hadn't lost any respect among my peers.
Okay.
But, because they knew I was good. But
and now you're playing with the Ramsey, Chris, and all these guys that put you with the over 21, 18s.
And then with the first team as well. And then like, it helped with my insecurities, like I said. But I was still looking for validation. I was still looking for a thumbs up or well done, Oli, or a pat on the back. And I didn't need it. Looking at it now, I didn't need all of that.
Yeah.
But I felt like I needed it because
at the time
I was struggling. From the time I'd come out of my back injury, up until then, with the mental side of things, which is like not understanding, okay, right now, you're actually going through something. You're not properly healed from this thing here, mentally. You may be healed physically, but mentally, you probably can't interact with people the way you're supposed to be able to interact with people. Like, I was still keeping my head down. I still didn't really look at people in the eye, and like it was horrible.
Do you think that impacts on the way that you process how you've been spoken to and how you're being dealt with because of the mindset that you're in?
So sometimes someone could be saying something to you and not mean anything by it.
That's it.
But because you are where you are mentally, you've taken it as...
That's where I'm going. So was that happening during your time, or did you clearly see that, yeah, I'll take responsibility for how I was processing stuff, but people could have dealt with me a bit different also?
That on, bang on.
Okay, so what incidents did you see that you could have been dealt with better than
so
people should have?
I remember one time, so I was in digs at this time, and my digs people, Junior and Jonathan, loved them to bits, but like they
What's digs?
Like it's like home away from home. So you stay in with a family and they look after you. So they feed you.
When you're playing football?
Yeah.
Cool.
So they used to like overfeed us. So it was me, Paul and Poku, Jordan Archer, and a boy called Lasty. There was 4 of us in the house, plus their 4 kids. And they used to just feed for the masses. So no one's like we're eating, but we're not thinking you're gonna get body fat tested tomorrow.
Okay.
So we're getting fed Yorkshire puddings, this, that, turkey, chicken. Like there's a full spread. Like every dinner, you have your big turkey, your big chicken, your broccolis, your potatoes, your rice, your mac and cheese, your this, your that.
Wow.
It was like Christmas every day.
Have mercy.
Every single day.
So Tottenham takes care of the digs so the guys can stay there and be looked after, yeah?
But it's up to the families to feed them.
Wow. So they haven't dictated a diet that their players need to be eating.
But we knew, come first of the month, you're gonna get body fat tested.
Shoot.
So like if you're gonna eat, just make sure you're good for when you get body fat tested. But then it got to a point where they started doing it more than once. And then when they started doing it more than once, trouble.
So people was left wanting.
My digs was under scrutiny.
Oh man, talk to me about that, bruv.
We were just like, all of our body fats are through the roof. But I felt like where my body wasn't able to let go of the weight quicker than it used to be able to.
Okay.
Because of, obviously, when I was having the back operation, I had to have a lot of morphine, a lot of steroids, a lot of all that stuff. Okay. So my body wasn't
reacted the same way as it was back
Whereas
at
my
age.
metabolism, if I eat something, I'm probably still going to stay skinny.
Yeah.
Whereas when I
you
started
had a
to
lot
eat
of
that,
medication for painkillers.
Yeah. Morphine, steroids.
That's a lot to get over.
Ibuprofen.
So you're coming in and your body fat's too high.
Yeah.
What's their response?
Fat club, running before training, bikes after training, altitude chamber, loads of stuff, and then it got to a point where the coaches used to make like little slide digs, but I was already insecure. So you telling me about my weight, Jesus.
Yeah.
Problem. I stopped eating.
Oh, shoot.
Like, I wouldn't come out of my room in digs, and they'd say, the sports scientist, I asked the sports scientist, what happens if you don't eat? He said, well, when you do eat, after not eating for such a long time, because your body's not sure when it's going to be fed again, it stores up everything as fat.
That's correct.
So once it stores as fat,
it holds the weight even more.
It just holds the weight.
Yeah. Which I didn't understand when I was trying to make weight at 12.5 stone, at 6'1". Yeah. So
I was still fat. Not fat, I was just big.
Yeah.
But in their eyes, I was fat.
Obviously, because fat as a professional athlete is different to what Joe Bloggs is gonna call fat.
So I was big. Couldn't shift the weight. Wasn't eating. I remember I would have porridge in the morning for
Do you remember
breakfast.
what they would say? Is there any like little kind of dig, little tease, just a bit of banter? But the banter was actually affecting you.
I remember one time, if my teammates look at this, they'll laugh. They'll say, I remember one of the coaches said, you're running like a snail with cramp. It's funny.
Snail, bro.
Everyone knows who the coach that said it.
Yeah.
Everyone knows, but I'm not gonna say his name.
Okay.
He's famous for that line. And then you're moving like Audley Harrison.
Yeah.
That's the boxer that's been beat up after how many rounds?
Yeah.
Like
that's mean.
Yeah,
leave my mate Audley alone.
Yeah. So I got teased and like it affected me.
Yeah.
And I try and swallow it.
Yeah.
And because I'm swallowing it, I'm getting angry. Because I'm getting angry, my mind can't think clearly. So whenever anyone's talking to me, I'm just moving around mad. So like now I'm getting from sweet, innocent Olu that's not getting into any trouble. Maybe he's gonna get in trouble because he's gonna just do something silly, childish, joke around, to Olu that's just angry.
Are you easily getting irritated?
Easily. Because I'm insecure, but my insecurities now are being highlighted to make joke for everybody else.
When did you realise that this was like mental health issues started kind of creeping into your life?
It weren't till, let's say, later on down in my life where I had to reevaluate everything. So I had to look at myself, the coaches, how I was when I was at Tottenham, how I was when I was at Norwich. Did I do enough? Was I enough? Did I stop when someone's giving me the first pat on the back rather than waiting for the big applause from everybody else? I was more content with a little high five than the crowd surfing and all that kind of stuff. I was happy with the mere minimal. So, because of my insecurities and my insecurities, it would allow me to just say, okay, I've got my work done now, that's fine. But growing up and getting older and then just realizing sometimes that's not enough. Like, I was always searching for more, I was always looking for more, and I was thinking, I'm not happy, I'm actually not happy. That high five that maybe you've done it for me before doesn't do it for me. Did it actually ever do it for me?
So to everyone else outside of you, you're playing for Tottenham and you're doing well, but inside of you, you're really not happy.
I was a wreck.
Could you see where it might have been showing up at home? Is there anything at home that was behaving?
No one can talk to me now. No one can talk to me. No one can talk to me. I was in the shell. I went in my shell. Nobody could talk to me.
Out on the streets with your peers, what was that? What was the change in that? Where did the change come about?
My change only came when I got released from Tottenham.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I left Tottenham, this is when I was already angry. So angry Olu turned into bad boy Olu, where I was now. I didn't have no rules, no this, no that. And I remember when I got told I wasn't getting a contract no more, I stopped going into training.
Wow.
My mind was just like, F you lots.
Yeah.
I'm doing my own thing. So then I started hanging around my boys, started doing things looking back at it, I shouldn't have been doing. I should have been working for my next move.
That's it.
But I wasn't in that mind frame because I was thinking, I'm already going through an absolute madness in my head. And I can't explain it to anyone. I'm going mad, I'm crying for no reason, I'm banging my head against the wall, I've got suicidal thoughts. I'm all over the place.
Where is this happening? In your bedroom?
In my bedroom, I'd like go for walks. I still go for walks now just to clear my head because it's good for me.
Good for you, yeah.
But like I used to go for walks. So like let's say, I remember Diggs was in Woodford. I'd walk to Walthamstow.
Wow.
From Woodford to Walthamstow and back.
Wow, I know that journey.
Just to clear my head.
Yeah, I know that journey. I've walked from Wood Green to Walthamstow.
So it's a lot. And in my head, I'm not sleeping. I'm not able to sleep. And then when I do sleep, I'm only sleeping because I'm exhausted.
Wow.
So.
And this is a young man.
I'm like young and no one's getting it. And then I'm going to training and then like I'm not the same. And like, how could the coaches have known? I didn't speak up.
What are you getting caught up within now? Now you're an angry you. You're not getting that support and you're not getting to open up and speak about it.
Yeah.
What are you getting caught up with and what kind of mindset's taking over now, Olu?
The mindset was, at the beginning, was suicidal thoughts. I wanted to end my life. I didn't want to know anymore. I remember I stayed in bed. I left Diggs, started going home again. staying in bed for like 2-3 days, 4 days a week.
What was your parents saying to you at this time?
Get up, go to training, go out, get out of the house. You're like, Olu, you're known for being that guy. Like, you're the fun guy in the group. Like, none of your friends are coming around no more. Where are your friends? Leave me alone, man. Wow. The room was dark. I was under my covers. I wouldn't eat. And then...
Wow, man.
I remember I had a trial at Inverness. I think I did well. Nothing come of it. Then I thought at that point...
You were trying?
Yeah, football weren't for me. That's why I thought football's not for me.
Yeah.
Let me just go and chill with the man them.
Yeah.
Chill with the man them. And you know what chilling with the man them does?
Yep.
Especially being from where we're from.
Yep.
There's only two ways. You either live a very successful life doing what you're doing on the roads, or you end up in jail.
Yeah.
But
I would question the word success.
Well,
on the roads.
The road, man, that's what they deem to be. I've got money, I've done this. I ain't been caught. I ain't been caught. That's what their success is. I've not been caught in my badness.
Yeah.
That's to them.
Yet
to them. So that was me. Like, I just thought.
Forgetting the fact that they're actually sowing seeds. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're sowing seeds of negativity and distress while you're classing it as success. So did you get caught up in that?
So I did, but it wasn't through my direct group of friends. So my boy Jason, Mali, Callum, like, those are my boys, and they're still my boys till today.
Not my Mali.
Mali? No, never Mali. He's a DJ host on Represent Radio. So he's doing his thing. But they literally was like to me.
That would be too funny, bro. That would be too funny if it was my boy Mali.
No, but they were like to me. I remember one time I was like, I need money. Like, why do you need money? You play football, bro. You're good. Nah, I'm not good, bro. Because I need to keep, like, obviously I'm getting paid every month, but soon that money's gonna dry up.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, boy, let me get ahead of this train before the train hits me, you know. So I said to my boy, pattern me some whatever. He said, nah, I'm not doing it.
Wow.
All right, cool, no problem. Went to my other friend. Oh, you must stop being stupid, man. Go and play football.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to play football. I'm going to this training thing. This friend's invited me to this one. I'm not hearing it though. I'm not trying to play football. I'm applauding
the man that did say to you.
I'm not hearing this.
Yeah.
I went off on my own and did it.
Okay.
I did. Like, I'm very resourceful. I'm good at talking my way into things, took my way out of things. Set up my own little business. Started doing my own thing to the point where I got caught.
What business did you choose to go into on the roads?
Just selling drugs.
Okay.
But it wasn't for me.
Oh, so I see.
Then when I realized it wasn't for me is when I got caught. And my heart. Do-dum, 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 do-dum.
I'm telling you, the reality of what you're actually chosen to do.
But I never got caught with it in my hands. So imagine my grandma, this is how I know my grandma was my saving grace and will forever be my saving grace. She passed away, and I had to go to Nigeria for a funeral. I didn't know that the police came to my house with 5 or 6 bully vans coming to raid my house.
When did they do that? When you went away?
When I was in Nigeria.
Wow.
So
did you have any food at the yard?
No, nothing like that. Again, like, I was in it, but I wasn't like, it wasn't my life. I wasn't consumed by it. I wasn't stupid.
It was clearly just to make some income.
Yeah, that was it.
And you thought that was the quick, easy way of doing it.
Quick, easy way.
See, it's the quick and the easiness that is the draw.
Exactly.
Isn't it, Olu?
Exactly.
Where youths are looking for quick and easy.
Yeah.
And is there a shortcut to success?
No, not at all.
Do you have to pay for trying to take the easy route?
Yeah, 100%.
My days, do I know about that?
So imagine we've come back now and my neighbours has gone to my dad. Well, like, there was bare bully vans at the house. Looking for someone. Thinking, my dad's probably they got the wrong address. Obviously papers have come through, letters have come through. It wasn't till my dad went back, so days have gone past. dad seen a little card from the police officer saying, call this number, PC, da-da-da-da. My dad's called the number. I said, listen, you're lucky it called you now, because we were gonna come and make another raid at your house.
Yeah.
But this time we were gonna forcefully enter the property.
Yeah.
So,
was this shocking to your mum and dad?
Yeah. They were like, Olu, my football Olu.
Wow.
Doing this, they had no idea what I was getting up to.
Wow.
So we did, what happened after that? So
how did you feel about them? Did you feel like you really let them down, or?
Yeah, I still feel like that now.
Okay.
Like, I still feel like I can't ever repay the damage I've been doing.
Yeah.
So we, me and my dad went to the police station. We even went to the wrong police station. Police officer said, "Oh, sorry, we're late." Then they said, "Don't worry, I'm supposed to go home now, but I'll wait for you." Waited for us. Got there now. Talking, and then police officer was just like, "You know what? I'm gonna do one better, because I know you're a good kid. Come back to me in 6 months. If you haven't changed your life around in 6 months, we're gonna go on with these proceedings."
Are you for real, King?
Yeah.
That's so blessed.
So everyone that was inviting me to football training and do these other football camps, I started going. I said, "Listen, I need to get signed." 2-3 months later, I signed for Norwich.
Wait, let's give the feds a big props for that one before we move on.
The one fed officer, the one police officer, the one. But
that's what I'm saying, let's give him props.
Because that could have been...
Because it just takes one.
To just say,
it just takes one to violate, and it just takes one to bless.
So
that's a great opportunity, just telling you that when they could have just pushed for what they wanted.
So it said 6 months, I want you to come back here and tell me that you signed for a club.
Cool.
Went back 3 months later and said, I signed for Norwich.
Boom. First team, professional?
Professional contract. I signed my first professional contract
at
Norwich. So at Norwich now, thinking nothing's gonna deter me from getting back into that life. My head is down. I'm not gonna get in no more trouble. I'm not gonna get myself into it. Because it's not like anyone's dragging me to the trouble. I'm getting myself into trouble.
Who are you around at this time? Because I know my boy Leon McKenzie played for Norwich.
No, he wasn't there at the time.
Okay.
He had, I think, gone.
Oh, really?
By the time I was there.
Yeah.
So, Corey Smith, George Franker, who was Sebastian Besson was there. So I known him from Tottenham. So we kind of just automatically.
So it felt good to link with people that you already know.
So
excellent. Big up to the man at Norwich.
So I had my head on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Because shooting was massive for me, because, like, although I didn't play any first team games at Norwich, he was just like always constantly speaking to me. How's it going?
Really?
How you doing? Keep going, keep pushing.
Wow. It really matters when people care about you.
You're close, keep going, keep going.
Wow, really matters when people
I remember one time
care.
I wanted to go on loan, and he was just like, you can't, because if you go, there's no one, you're next.
Yeah, got you.
So I said, I need to play first team football. I was the oldest in the 21s at the time. I needed to go and push on and play. It's a mistake I regret, not going, because I should have gone. I should have been more selfish.
Okay.
And gone, rather than
playing the game.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, let me do it for Norwich and whatever else. But I had no real guidance, if that makes sense. I never really had an agent.
Okay.
More time, it's like someone helps me, but I've never had no one really negotiating a deal for me. More time, it's my brother. So, and he's younger than me. So
why didn't you have that, bro?
Don't know. Wow. Not Tottenham. Remember, I'd been at Tottenham my whole life, so I didn't need an agent.
Yeah. Okay.
And then even I knew everything was happening. They'd given it to me before I'd even gone to go and ask for it. So I didn't need to go and ask for nothing at Tottenham.
So after when they released you, you didn't think an agent would want to be taking
I was mad. I was mad at the world.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one agent, Leon Anderson. Let me not forget him. Yeah. He did help me, because he put on a showcase.
Okay, awesome.
With all the man them in the ends, or man that have been released from clubs. And I remember playing in that tournament, because I saw that as my last chance.
Okay.
So I grabbed it with both hands. I'll never forget. I had 5 clubs after me, after that showcase. But then we chose Norwich.
Okay.
So I went to Norwich, and we didn't formally sign anything, so he wasn't really my agent. He was just someone that helped me from time to time and whatever else. So
tell me about that Norwich experience, man.
Norwich was different because I was by myself.
Yeah.
I had, to be fair, I had my boy Ramil, who was with me at Tottenham.
What's mental health like at this time?
Mad. Because I was by myself. Like, although I've got players, I can only see them really at training. Remember, I'm still suffering from my insecurities, my stresses, all this other stuff that I've not really addressed. So I'm carrying them into a new team.
So where'd that show up in the new team?
Didn't really show up because I was the man when I was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In my age group, I was that guy. So there was like, I think they called us the Magnificent Seven. So the
were
seven
you getting games then, man? Were you getting games with Norwich?
So we played, like there was the 21s league at the time, which had just started. Yeah. And then I had a lot of clubs coming in saying they wanted to take me on loan. So I knew that I was doing my thing.
Okay.
So I was there only a year before the club, one of the coaches got a job in Scotland. And he took me to Scotland.
Okay, that's when you went to Scotland.
That's when I went to
So why did he take you with him to Scotland?
Just off of, I don't know, he said I worked hard, he said like I was a leader, he said I did all the things that I should be playing in the first team. I should be playing first team football. I should have been in Norwich's first team, but at the time, because of the situation I was in, I couldn't play. So Chris Human's not going to trust a young boy that's hardly seasoned, played minimal games, and plus at the time his job was on the line as well. So
do you feel that Norwich was a good experience for you, or just like a waste of time?
Looking at it, I'd say if I never went to Norwich, I probably wouldn't have gone to Falkirk.
That's it. So it was a part of the process, yeah. So what happened when you went to Scotland?
Scotland was a different thing. Scotland was good at first because it was like real first team football. So I couldn't go nowhere without no one wanting to take a picture. I couldn't go nowhere without someone knowing who I was, staring, whatever else. But then on the flip side of it, I was at home by myself. So I remember this is a time when I started to be introduced to like girls and all that kind of stuff and partying and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of just started to move. I remember I had like loads of girls with me at the time. Girl in my house, and I used to get some of my boys up from London to come and stay with me.
Wow.
I didn't want to be by myself because I knew if I was by myself, I'd have to think. And if I have to think...
Then you start feeling down and getting negative. So you find vices. I bet there's loads of people that can understand this cycle as well, Olu.
So 4 months in, before the biggest game of my career against Rangers, biggest game of my career, I get injured.
Oh.
Yeah, done my metatarsal.
Damn it.
Yeah, so did that.
Training.
The day before the game. Day before the game. A boy that doesn't really play clamped me. Like, he was mad at training, just rattled me, just went through me. And the thing is, he doesn't normally, it's not his game to tackle. He just clamps me.
What happens then?
I was out for like 3 months. 3 months injured. That's when loose cannon. Loose cannon.
Talk to me about loose cannon.
Loose cannon. I was just, at the beginning I just wanted to be by myself. Then I started to go out. So I'm not gonna say his name, but me and my teammate, people know who I'm talking about, but I don't want to say his name. So it's me and 2 other boys. We used to just go out all the time.
What did you used to go out for?
Just to get drunk. Just to see girls, just to forget about football, just to forget about what I was doing. I saw it as a holiday. Training, forget about training. Rehab, don't take rehab serious.
Yeah? Wow.
Because that's the mindset, because remember... Like,
so mentally was you kind of throwing in the towel?
Yeah,
You're just really upset?
I was gone.
Do you know what I'm saying? I was gone. So let me just deal with the pussy and just deal with the juice.
Done.
To Snoop Dogg would say gin and juice, but
so I was done.
You was on the Panani and
mentally done, like finished. I was finished to the point of no return. So then I eventually got back fit, but then I was overweight this time. And then overweight, trying to lose the weight.
Wow.
No real nutrition plan. I'm by myself.
Mentally, you keep
mentally done.
Towel.
Mentally done, like done. And then,
was that your last game for Scotland? But when you played in Scotland, what team was it? No, I had
2 more seasons.
You had 2 more seasons?
2 more seasons of... The thing is, the next season after that was worse. Because I had a manager that didn't want me.
Bro, people really don't know what goes on in the lives of ballers and what they're going through.
So imagine the summer before then, before the next season, I actually got fit. Like, I don't really go to the gym, but I went to the gym. I did legs, I did arms, I did everything. Everything that I could possibly do to get
What
fit.
made that, what happened? What made you kind of trigger into...
I think national call-up. There was a national call-up I knew that I was going to get called up for to play for Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were sniffing around. And I knew that this season was pivotal because obviously the season before I gave up.
Yeah.
And I was upset at myself that I gave up.
You knew you did.
So then I was thinking, I'm going for it. First game back, scored a goal. Everyone was like, what? Olu scoring a goal? Like, you don't really score goals like that. But they don't know me from when I used to be scoring goals and doing all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Next game, scoring a goal. Next game, doing this. Next game, Go home for a week, break, yeah?
Was your confidence building back through this?
Yeah. Confidence is building. The manager said, let's go home for a week to reboot, just to holiday before the season starts, just take a couple of days away, just relax. Gone home. My brother's called me. Olu, have you seen Gary's gone? Gone where? He's gone back to Norwich. I said, to do what? Said he's gone there to be assistant manager. I said, flipping out.
What, the guy you was working
The
with?
gaffer, the manager that took me to Scotland, left me in Scotland to go back to Norwich.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I was done. Like,
why was that so important to you?
because he was like giving me it's like some players need an arm around the shoulder.
Okay.
Some players need talking to. Some players need an iron bar.
Okay.
I needed love. I needed to feel loved. And I felt loved at the time.
Yeah.
He made me feel loved.
Nice.
And then I knew whatever was coming was not going to be good because of the manner in which it happened. So the new manager come in.
So he never had a conversation with you, said, listen, Olu, I've got to go, bruv.
He left in that week that we got on holiday.
Did that affect you as well?
100%.
The fact that he didn't have that conversation
100%.
Okay.
100%.
What did you tell yourself? Because we all tell ourselves a story. What did that mean? That he didn't care?
Yeah, he didn't care.
Okay.
No, he didn't care at all. So it made me realize, it made me think that, right, no one cares really about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's by myself.
Wow.
But I'm still in a good position for this new manager to come in and have good things to say about me.
Mm-hmm. So
new managers come in, gone on a training camp, I'm playing well, I'm doing well, I'm scoring, doing whatever. Couple games into the season, doing well. And then I think I've heard rumours that new players are coming in my position. So he didn't get the player that he wanted. The player went to Hearts. So I was thinking, kind of maybe let me get that out of my head that someone's coming in to replace me.
Okay.
New player comes in. The next day I get out of my head that a new player's coming to replace me. This player was injured coming in. Like injury. Like I remember having a conversation with him. He was just like, yeah man, I'll just have to get through the medical. Got through the medical, I was sidelined.
Wow.
Sidelined. And then I thought to myself, yeah, football's a myth. Like getting to this man's team is a myth. And I'll never forget, this is why like, when I play football, I'll never ever, 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 ever meet a girl or do anything with a girl the day before a game. So I thought, I'm not playing him, I hadn't played in 4 or 5 games. This guy seems to be all right, going breezing through the game. I was thinking, I'm a bit lonely, like, I'm gonna call a girl over. Called the girl over, she thinks like 3, 4 in the morning, done my thing, but I've gone extra ham. I don't know why, I've gone ham.
Went all in.
Gone all in, because I was thinking, yeah man, let me just vex, lonely, like, I put all my frustrations on this girl, I'm going ham. Next day, the guy's gone, feeling a bit of my hamstring, you know. I said, no, you're not. You're good, man. Don't worry, you're good, man. All the best. It's gone out. 10 minutes in. Oli. My shin pads are in the change room. My long socks in the change room. I'm not even thinking I'm playing. I've not been playing, so I'm not even thinking I'm coming on. My shirt's in the change room.
Knocks and you're not prepared.
My shirt was in the change room, everything. I was thinking, I'm not playing, man. Oh, go and get ready. Ready for what? You're coming on. What? Shit.
No
Ran
legs.
to the, I said, I need to piss.
Left the legs.
Ran to the change room, got all my stuff, panicking. Come on. Had a decent game. Luckily.
Yeah?
Luckily.
Cool.
I was thinking, I'm all about superstition, yeah? So if you do think some of it, one game, maybe it's going to work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We had a game Tuesday night, tried to do the same thing. Didn't work.
Huh?
Yeah, it didn't work. Didn't work. I was thinking, shit.
How'd you know it didn't work?
Obviously, I had a bad game with it.
Exactly.
Had a bad game, I had a stink. I was thinking, oh shit. I've just given this guy a reason to not play me no more.
Yeah.
Luckily, this guy's still injured. Played Saturday, well, let me just bomb that off. Doing all the girls thing. Done well, played well Saturday. And then I'm playing, and then I'm thinking, this guy, if this guy gets fit again, is he gonna go straight back into the team? Yeah, he is. And I don't know whether I put that energy out in there to the world.
Wow.
But it happened. So as soon as the guy got fit, Ollie on the bench. Another big pivotal game, yeah, quarterfinals of the Scottish Cup, playing Rangers again, live on TV, BT Sport. Everyone's gone, telling everyone, yeah, big game, big game. Imagine, I'm not even in the squad.
Wow.
I was thinking, rah.
Soul crushing.
Thinking, rah. Okay, cool. So what does this mean then? Couple weeks go on, still not playing with the reserves, scoring. Scoring hadn't really been a part of my game, but I'm scoring now to prove a point because I'm thinking, if I score, this is the only way this guy's gonna really, this is the only way to say, oh, like, up yours, really.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing my thing, like, you can't say I'm not. So he throws me into a game, I score, done well, but I only played because everyone else was injured. When everyone else got fit again, I was out of the team. I was thinking, jeez. Next season comes. Pre-season goes okay.
What's keeping you going? Getting paid?
Yeah, that was it. I'm thinking, if I don't play football, am I gonna go back to what I was doing before? Because I didn't have anything.
6 months past, you're obviously able to show the feds that you're doing your thing.
Didn't have anything.
Good.
I didn't have what I got. Art GCSE, ICT.
Would you fall back
graphics.
on?
Well, yeah, what do I, media, we didn't do nothing, none of that in school. So I was thinking, okay, just doing it. So I've asked to go on loan, Gaffer said no. But I didn't realise why he said no. So in my contract, if I had played one more game or 2 more games at the time, I get a new deal and a new contract extension, wherever that may be.
Okay.
So I've played 1 game for my team on loan, saying, yeah, can't play no more. I was on loan, but not even in the squad.
Wow.
And the way Scotland is positioned, yeah, I was living here. I was driving here to go and play 2.5 hours away to not be in the squad.
Wow. Even the drive is depressing.
Long. So you drive 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back. 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back.
Them demons are just troubling you. How did all of this wrap up? How did you get to the point where you are today? Talk us through that mentally.
Mentally?
You know, because obviously there's a stage where you realise, now, man, I've got some mental health issues. I need to get some help with this. How did football end?
Football ended when they offered me a payout.
Who did? Scotland?
Yeah, the club I was at. They offered me a payout. When my loan finished, they offered me a payout.
What club was you at?
Falkirk.
Okay.
Offered me a payout, and I said no. And
why'd you say no?
because the money that they tried to give me, man, was ridiculous. It was stupid.
Okay.
It wasn't even half of what I would have made.
Okay.
In the whole, what was left of my contract, it didn't even add up.
So they were violating.
And then at this point, at the beginning of the season, I met with my kid's mum, formed a relationship. Like, I wasn't out here doing crazy things anymore. I was in a relationship. I felt like that kind of centered me, if that made sense.
Okay.
So I knew even if football doesn't work, I still got this person here. It's fine, which is fine. Then she finds out she's pregnant. And the thing is, I'm thinking, shit, I'm having a baby now. Football's not going for me. How am I going to provide? Plus, I'm being offered a payout. So Leon Anderson comes back around again. I said, Leon, can you help me? He said, yeah, cool. Went to Yeovil. Yeovil said, no, first of all, Falkirk have said, if you want to go, we'll let you go, no problem. If you're going back down near London, no problem, we'll let you go free of charge. Thing that I didn't do, I didn't get that on paper.
Right.
So
that's why he needed somebody who's on
exactly.
the
So he's saying what he's saying.
Side.
He's saying what he's saying, and I'm thinking, okay, cool, no problem. Let me go Yeovil. Didn't say nothing to the club. Yeovil turned around and said, yeah, we want to sign you. I'm thinking, yes, I'm back in it. I don't have to go back to
And that's after they've seen you training and whatever, yeah? Nice.
So he's gone, cool, want to sign you? All right, cool, no problem. So what happens now? I said, what happened? Well, we're going to have to contact the club. Contacted the club. My managers called me 2 hours later when I'm in the hotel in Yeovil. What the fuck is this? I'm thinking, what are you talking about? I said you can go on trial or you can go whatever for a couple of days, not for a week. I said, what are you talking about? My trial was a week. I told you this. He said, no, you didn't. I thought you were going to go to a club near your house. I was thinking, near my house? For a Sunday league team? Like, what the hell? Like, you not respect what I'm trying to do. Oh, no. Come back. You need to come back today. These times I got a scan for my child. So we've done that. I've left, gone back up to Scotland, gone in the meeting the next day. Manager's gone, how can you do this? You didn't even tell me what you were doing. So I didn't train. So I've gone back in the change room. Assistant manager's come in, knocked on the door, saying, Olu, you're not training with us today. So I cool, no problem. Training with the young boys after training. The young boys are 15, 16-year-olds. No problem. All right, cool, let me just do it. And then what makes it worse is 5 of them. So they've just put on a session just so to say that I can train. Because I think the FA rules is you have to train with more than 5 professionals or 5 whatever at the time. First day comes, all right, cool. Didn't really get much out of the session. Let me go to the gym after. Gone to the gym. Next day, assistant manager knocks on the door, or you can have a word, you can train with us today. I said, all right, cool, no problem. These times I'm trying to find out what's happening with Yeovil. They've gone back and said they want this for me. How much for me? I said, no club's going to pay that for me, for someone that's not playing right now.
So they just played you out of the market.
So, get to that point now, I'm just like, said to my mum and dad, I remember calling my mum and dad crying. I was just like, listen, I can't do this no more. This is killing me more than anything. Imagine, I used to sit in my room, just like the room like this, just be staring at the walls. Lights would be off, TV off, and I'll just be just sitting there in the dark. Like I didn't know what to do. To the point where like we got to where towards the end of the season, and I was thinking, I need to just leave, man. My mum and dad were like, nah, see it through. So I saw it through to the end of the season, handed back the keys to the house, or whoever owned the house, left. Didn't even look back.
Best thing you done?
That's when I'm done with football.
For your sanity. Sometimes we're trying to hold on to things, aren't we?
Done.
When that's actually the thing we're holding onto is our demise.
Done.
It's what's hurting us.
So I came back.
Yeah.
And I tried so hard to
Would you come back to?
Well, what I left before.
Okay.
So I was trying so hard to not fall back into that trap. But I had family pressures. My family and my kids' mum were at war, like cultural war. Like,
wow.
We do this one way, we do this another way. They were beefing each other. Like everyone was arguing. Like it wasn't. And I'm not someone. I tried to carry on playing football again, but I'm someone that if my outside life isn't sorted, there's no way I'm gonna go on the football pitch and people say, oh, football's away from everything. Like, for me, it's not. Everything's all intertwined.
Yes,
because if I finish football, I'm only gonna come back to the same nonsense.
Yeah, and that nonsense affects the football too.
Now, when people say football doesn't, it's a way, it's an escape. It isn't. It's not an escape. You're like sweeping something under a carpet, and then when you lift up the carpet, the mess is still there.
It's still there. So what now? How do you work out? How do you work all of this out, bro? Because people are in a mess right now.
Yeah.
How do you work all of this out? What do you want out of your life right now?
What at that point?
At that point.
At that point, I just want to be happy. I just want to remember who I am. I just want to think
about it.
But that
looks different for different people. What does it look like for you?
For me, it looked like families getting along, me being able to be in football at some form of capacity, whether it be coaching, whether it be whatever.
And you're how old now?
28.
You're 28 now?
28 years old. So at that time, I was, 21?
Okay.
And had nothing going for me, nothing. And then I'll never forget this, my son, so before then, what was I doing? I got back into what I was doing before, like drugs and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. So you gave way to that temptation?
Yeah, I had to, because I had no money, and that was the only way I tried to work.
I often hear people say that. I had to. But that's an easy way out of saying,
it wasn't
I chose to.
Yeah, I chose to.
Yeah.
None of this was forced upon me. I chose all of my decisions. I've held my hands up and I've had to live with my mistakes.
Choose it.
So
we hear a lot of that from the road, man.
Yeah.
We come up in the ends. What opportunities we got? I had to do this. No, everything you do is your choice.
I chose to do it.
You choose to do it. We haven't explored the other ways. What you've done is thrown the other ways out off the table and said, that's not on the table.
No.
So this is the only thing on the table, so I have to go. No, bring everything on the table and see if this works first before you can eliminate it. Instead of saying, I can't do that, or you'd have never played football if you said, I can't do that. You're from Tottenham, I'm from Tottenham.
Yeah.
I would have said I could never come away from bunning weed, drugs, shot in Class A, whatever I was doing, robberies. I can't come away from that to become a pro fighter.
Yeah.
You have to give it a try.
I didn't though, because again, mentally, I wasn't strong enough to.
Okay, yeah.
So all of these decisions I've made and the positions I've been in, I can't blame anyone else but blame myself.
And you didn't know how to mentally start fixing yourself.
So me saying I did these things, I'm not saying it like I want to pat on the back or I'm looking for a sub story. I did it because at the time, that was the easiest route for me to be able to get some form of income in, some form of normality, some form of like, Ollie, you're the man again. Like, that is what I was looking for.
Yeah, and your ego says, I have to live in this lifestyle. I have to be like this person. And I can't let no one see me having less than. Because that looks bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's our egos. So how's that working out? Selling again?
I stopped again. I didn't get caught, I just stopped by choice because I thought it's not for me. Let me not do it. And then I had my second child. And I thought, Jesus, Ollie, if you're doing this again to yourself. Child number 2. And I thought,
what's being a dad like?
The best. The best.
Has that added value to your mental state?
It did at the time.
Okay.
It did. So, but what didn't was the fact that the families were at odds.
Okay.
And then my kid's mum didn't really have my back as much as she thought I would do. Mentally, she was a bit immature as well.
Okay.
So I was on my own. So I struggled to see my kids. Like, had to fight to see them. Get into all sorts of stuff just to see my firstborn, my son, my firstborn, Joshua. Like, that was
tough.
That was like, and this is what I don't understand. When women do that to a man, like, already I'm fighting demons. And I remember explaining this to her. I said to her, like, the reason why I was doing what I was doing before was because I was not in the best mental of states. But you doing what you're doing doesn't add to the.
Yeah.
It just makes things worse.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Well, it's strange because you're saying that, but I've never understood that. Why mums would think and feel that they have been given that authority to tell a dad when he can't see his child. They both made the child.
It's done stupid stuff.
So how do you get to tell the guy when he can't or when he can visit?
Do you know what? Yeah, this is like, it's hard to even say it. Like, I remember one time I went to go see my boy and I was just like, I'm not leaving till I see my son. She was just like, I'm gonna call the police. I said, call the police.
Yeah.
Call the police. And I was thinking, blood.
Yeah.
I never thought this would get to this. So like, even like down to the point now, like my boys, like, I'd rather my boys with me and not have to face any kind of stupidness or waywardness or bad mouthing or whatever else.
Fighting and back and forth.
Because I know what I'm like, and like my boys will tell you what I'm like. Like, Dad's fun. He's strict, but he's fun.
Yeah.
Like, I do everything for my boys, and I go to the lengths, end of the world for my kids. Like, that is. And like, that's what made me, like, funny enough, my first son is the reason why I got into what I'm doing now.
Okay.
He's on my phone, messing around, stumbled across this advert that my friends were doing. I thought it was some big Nike advert, little did I know it was some guy down the road putting on a tournament in North West London. And I asked to join, they were like, nah, this ain't for you, man. This is beneath you, man. You're only the footballer. So nah, I need something to keep me sane. I need something right now. So that's all right, cool. Can you get here in 20 minutes? So get where? I said, east. I was thinking, at the time, the boy's mum was working. So I was with the kids and I had to wait for her to get back. So I was 2 hours late for the shoot.
Wow.
They waited for me, but I knew when I get on set, energy. I had to give them energy.
Perform, bro.
Yeah, so to the point where the guy that I met, Gundeep, like he's an Asian guy, Sikh, somewhat of a mentor like in the filming industry for me, like just helped me he was just like, he just was taken by my personality, my energy, everything. So like, from then, like that was it. So I studied for like 4 or 5 years behind the camera, how to do things. He put me in certain opportunities. I've gone around the world to interview Neymar. I've like interviewed Jesse Lingard with the England squad when they did the build-up for the World Cup.
Wow. And that opportunity came from what? You just being hungry and
just me saying, cool, let me just get off my arse and do it.
Do something. Even though everyone was saying that's below you, bro.
So
You're
I did.
Olu, the footballer, the great, look what you've done, look what you've achieved.
So I did that. So everything's going for me now. And then...
How do you mean? What did that opportunity allow? What did it open doors for?
Money, opportunities. I remember when Nike released the new Hypervenom boot, they did a secret launch. They imported a goal from Japan, I think it was like 4-point-something million. They had like Harry Kane there, Ian Wright, Drogba. And I'll never forget, like I was there as part of the talent. And I remember, I turned around and said, that's Harry. But I didn't want to be the big friend. He's like, Olu, hugging up. Everyone's looking and winking. Wow, who's this guy? So I just always used to play with me at Tottenham. And then for me, like that was enough. Like that was like, this guy's, I respect you. Like you're not, it's not changed. Money's not changed you. The fame, the success has not changed you. You're still Harry.
Nice.
So
that means a lot to people, innit?
It meant a lot to me, and I'll carry that, whether he remembers or not. I will always forever carry that, because for me it was just like, I've come away from being only the footballer to now being just, man.
Have you found yourself, Olu, are you at peace yet? Or where are you on your journey at the moment?
Now I'm at peace, and that peace, before I even got to that peace, so I imagine came back from Neymar, I think Josh Denzel was supposed to go, but he did Love Island instead.
Okay.
So they told me to go instead, so I did the trip, did all of that stuff, and then came back, and then I was thinking, yeah, I'm hungry. Let me look for new opportunities. But the boys that I started with, a rift came because obviously I was getting opportunities.
Really?
And they saw it as I'm looking out for myself. But had I been looking out for myself, we wouldn't have been signed by Puma. We wouldn't have been signed. We wouldn't have got the night deals. We wouldn't have got all of those stuff.
Okay.
Had it not been for my connections.
Yes.
So if I'm looking out for myself, I'd get myself signed. I don't need you, man.
That's right.
It's just this one opportunity that they wanted, this one individual.
That's right.
I'm the one
so
they
you
chose.
have to take it. That's correct.
So it just went from one thing to another. Ended up being apart from these men. And then I was on my own.
Where they could have been on the journey as well.
I was on my own. And then I was thinking, I'm by myself now. Back to square one. And jobs are drying up. A certain individual was calling all these brands and saying, don't work with Olu, he's no longer part of our group. I won't say his name.
Wow.
But obviously the brands would call me because I'm their direct point of contact. They'd be like, oh, what's happened with you lots? I'm getting this call saying all sorts of stuff. I took it as, let me not confront you about the situation. Let me do better. Let me get something for myself. Let me shut you lots up. So in trying to find that required money. So I got myself into a situation where the only way I knew how to make money was to go back to doing what I was doing to make money. So for the third time, stupidly, I went back to doing what I was doing on the roads. But this time was a little bit more different because I actually got caught with the drugs in my hand.
Wow.
So it was mad.
So it's never go back.
Yeah.
Dogs, like a dog going back to the
Yeah,
moment.
that's what it was. It was like an obsession, like I had to go back. And then like, I did it, and then that brought a deeper depression because I was on bail for how long, for how many years, and they hadn't...
It's that threat of jail.
Yeah. The threat of not being able to see my boys. I got 2, 1 on the way, and it was just...
How did depression show up?
My relationships with people capsized.
Wow.
I hurt the ones closest to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's hard for me to say, but I hurt them like in more ways than none.
Yeah, I think myself and many others watching can really understand where you're coming from.
So I didn't care about no one because I thought they're gonna break into my house soon. And the thing is, I got arrested on the day that the Grenfell Towers.
Hey, for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was going to be kept on remand, but the only reason why they let me out is because they needed more police officers down in London. So...
I see you getting blessings and on the way out all the time.
Sometimes, but you can't always play on it.
because there's lessons that you have to learn from these terrible situations that we're putting ourselves in because of our cycles. Because you were going through this cycle I'm seeing where you keep going back and thinking, well, I'll use this, I'll utilize this strategy to get out of the problem. But that strategy is a deficit model. It doesn't work.
The thing is, when I was arrested and I was in the cell, I was thinking, this isn't me. Like, it's actually not me. Like, this, me sitting here, funny Olu that used to be the joker in school. This ain't me. This isn't me. Like, this is not me. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a bad boy. I'm not none of these stuff. I'm just Olu.
How do you break the cycle?
Breaking the cycle. So, obviously, come out now and I'm thinking, snap, I need to sort myself out. I need to make this filming thing work. So
you first had to know what you wanted.
Yeah. So I've got this opportunity now to direct and then be a part of like certain electronic companies, helping with their marketing, filming their marketing, how they will progress and stuff like that. And then it went on to doing stuff with Puma. So I was directing adverts with Puma, doing stuff with Nike, doing stuff with Adidas, to hosting and doing stuff again. And then I met my business partner now, Helks. Sorry enough, I got back into playing football again.
Did you?
Yeah. Played for Woking. So went to play for Woking. We got promoted into the Conference Prem just a couple of seasons ago now.
How did that happen though?
Yeah, I was playing local with my friends at Haringey.
Yeah.
And then the manager called me 4 times and I thought he was taking the mick. I didn't think he was being serious. He called me and said, he's from Sunderland. I was like, this guy, prank call, hung up. Because he's calling me withheld as well.
Okay.
Calling me again. Wow, you're not even speaking English, what are you saying? And then he called me again a couple of days later. He was just like, listen.
You understood that time.
But I was thinking, there's no way, like, why do you want me? Like, just let me enjoy my life. Like this, I didn't realise where Woking was in the league.
Which was?
Top of the table. So they're going for promotions. So I'm thinking, why are you calling me? At these times I hadn't looked.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, why do you want me? Like, so one coach that I know, Tristan Lewis, called me and was just like, Olu, I know this is probably going to sound strange to you, but Woking are actually looking to sign you. I said, why? He said, because you're doing your thing at Haringey? I said, yeah, but that doesn't mean, like, I'm not trying to play football like that. Listen, Olu, if he calls you one more time, just at least go and see what it's like. He's called me.
Is that because of all the past hurts of football and what it's done to you?
What it's done to me, I've always said it, I've always loved the game, that ain't loved me the same way back.
Okay.
So I've called, like he's called me, I'm on the phone to him. I said, is this Alan Dowse? He said, what are you doing tomorrow? I need you to come and, I want you to sign you, I want you to come and play for us. Come to training at least and let's have a conversation face to face. I've gone, trained for a bit, I was even late. My timekeeping's bad sometimes, but I was late, gone there.
You done all right today?
Yeah, there was pressure, that's why, pressure. So, gone there, trained the last little bit. He's gone, we want to sign you. I said, all right, cool. You're gonna have to speak to Haringey. Spoke to Haringey.
Happy with the money?
Okay. Good money. So, gone there now. I was thinking, okay, first game. But I wish I'd known who they were playing, which was my first game. First game was against Truro away.
Okay.
Do you know what Truro is?
No.
Truro is like Parsi Oval.
Wow.
So it's far.
Wow.
On a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So you have to leave at 12 o'clock.
Have
get there on time. So we've gone there now, played well. I'm thinking, so my business partner Helg, he's been integral, he's been my good friend, like we've become best friends over time. And he's gone, Olu, just give it one more crack. Like, we've got this filming thing, but give it one more crack. So I said, all right, cool. Played every game, every single game, to the point where we didn't get automatically promoted. We had to go through the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we got to the playoffs, played the first game, playoffs, played the second game. Then I got dropped for the final.
Really?
Then it brought me back to
where those places were again.
But I wasn't upset this time. I was like, cool. Like, I've got something else with me now. So in the build up to me getting to that point, I had my business partner that we met. England was doing a 6-a-side World Cup tournament they've asked me to be a part of. So I've gone. At the time, I wasn't mentally on trying to do all of that. So I didn't get through, but I met my business partner, Helgs. And he just came up to me because I'd just done something with Adidas the week before, and he was just like, and he's sponsored by Adidas. He was just like, yo, like, do you want to work together? I said, you're not serious, man. If you're serious, come to my house tomorrow. I didn't think he would come. He's called me, he's like, I'm outside your house. I thinking, what? These times I got a girl in the house, I'm thinking, about to do my thing. But, so I was thinking, all right, cool, come in, sat down now. And I didn't even realize we sat down there for like 3 days.
What?
Just going through ideas, coming up with lists of suggestions, how we're gonna go through doing things, filming. And the girl's still in the house, you know. Apparently she's speaking to me. I've not even taken her in. Like, I'm totally ignored her. totally ignored this.
Because you're wrapped up in
I'm
the business.
wrapped in this, and I'm thinking, this is the first time I've been so engrossed in something that it's giving my full attention. I'm looking at my man in his eyes.
It's
I've not been able to
passion,
do that.
innit?
Yeah, it's different passion. Different passion.
Wow, that's beautiful, man.
So like we're going through the layout of the story, like, and
you're still with Walking?
Yeah, I'm still with Walking.
Okay.
So this is at the beginning of Walking.
Okay.
So this is why I was okay at the end of where he didn't play me, because the project that we're doing was everything that we'd experienced in non-league football or in football as a whole.
I see.
So that was therapeutic for me to be able to deal with my depression and my whatever I was dealing with through that.
Through that
I'm not over my depression yet, but it was a way of dealing with it, like facing situations and scenarios I've been in.
Yeah.
So we used comedy as a way of attacking where I've been through mentally, where he's been through mentally, and everything like that. So it was like, that was my saving grace.
Oh, excellent.
So while that's going on, remember, I've still got a case pending. I'm still at Walking, and I'm trying to get this thing off the ground, this new business venture off the ground. So I was thinking, cool, let me just be positive. Let me speak positive things into the air. So I was thinking, we're going to film this next year. I said, how are we going to film it? No money. Thinking, the only way really I know how to make money is do what I used to do. But I can't, because if I get caught again, wahala, real trouble, real problems.
That's right.
So I was thinking, okay, let me get a job. Smart idea, let me get a good job.
Wow.
So I hollered my boy,
Breaking
Kevin.
the cycle.
Hollered my boy, Kevin, got a job doing night shifts for the NHS.
Lovely.
So,
it's a better
13,
way.
14-hour night shifts.
Wow.
But I paid sick.
Nice.
And get paid weekly as well. So I'm thinking, able to pay for cast, crew, everything I needed.
Beautiful.
Out of my own pocket.
Beautiful.
So we filmed it, put like a teaser out, well, one of the clips out with a guy called Comedian. So we did that, the one I sent you. So we did that, got loads of laughs. Ibrahimovic posted it, reposted it, Krypton Conan, you name it, like all celebrities were posting, and we were thinking, raw. But because we were still young in marketing and everything like that, it didn't take off as much as it should have. So people still haven't seen the full thing. They've only just seen that clip.
I see.
And when you see that, you see me, I've got K-Nose today. No one realizes that's me in the video.
I hear you.
Like they're like, when I send it to people, when I say, this is a project I worked on, that's not you. Who else is it gonna be then?
So how come viewers support and back you with what you're doing now? Because you're passionate about filming. Like, let them know everything what you're doing now.
So we started a company called Area Boys. So it's, as Africans, like the term Area Boys is like troublemakers, touts, people on the streets, road guys. But we flipped the narrative. So we're go-getters.
Nice.
So in our passion to go and get what needs to be done, we make things work by any means necessary. Like we go and get it done. So like if we'd never had that, we would never have done. We've never worked with Copenhagen. We did a racism piece in the summer with Copenhagen. About to be commissioned with the BBC. In talks with them right now.
Excellent.
Like these are things where looking at a 7-year-old me would never have pictured.
That's what I'm saying.
Me doing any of this other stuff.
This is massive.
So like I got into all of that, and then obviously we filmed that, and then obviously we've had other things in the pipeline, and then I got into, I think my brother was like, you know, why don't you give back to football? Because up until this point I couldn't watch football.
Wow.
So there was a young boy.
Bitter. Towards football.
Yeah, I hated football. Even after Woking, even after winning the cup, I couldn't enjoy it. My mum said to me on the day.
So you had the playoffs and you actually won. That's big.
We won the playoffs. And I come on for 10 minutes and I said to the manager, don't bring me on. He knew I didn't want to come on. He saw it in my face, I didn't want to come on. But if I didn't come on, the last block of the game, if I wasn't there, go. 1-1, would have gone straight to penalties.
Oh, wow. So because you came on, you influenced the game?
I made the last block of the game. The last block in the last minute of the game.
Wow.
The biggest block of the game. And we won.
That's fantastic, brother. And you didn't even want to come on.
Didn't want to come on. Didn't want to come on.
Is that the last time you played football?
I've played...
For Woking?
Yeah, last time I played for Woking. So I tried to enjoy it after, but I couldn't enjoy it.
Okay. So now you're bussing.
Yeah.
Now you're doing the work.
Yeah.
Now you're doing the business. Is there hope for young players who've been cut off from teams like Tottenham?
100%.
Tell them about.
So, like, I'll give you an example now.
Who are getting cut off because some of them are feeling suicidal, some of them are getting depressed.
I'll give you one example. One boy I helped just recently.
Yeah.
Through doing coaching things and mental things that I've been doing. He was at Tottenham for the same amount of time I was at Tottenham. He looked up to me. I know his family, everything like that. And he would know who I'm talking about. Him, yeah? I'm not gonna say his name, but him. He was at Tottenham for years. He got treated the exact same way I got treated as I'm on my way out of Tottenham.
Okay.
He got let go just recently, just signed for Arsenal. Like, you don't do that, go from Tottenham to Arsenal. But in that journey, I spent, 4 months with him? His mind, positivity. And the thing is, don't get me wrong, I'm not out of my depression. I'm not saying I'm a saint, I'm not saying I'm fully out of it. But my experiences and being able to help just that one person, for me, is the most rewarding thing that could ever happen.
That's right.
So even now, he still goes through his trials and tribulations, but I'm there, like, and sometimes I wish I had that voice to say, just keep going, bro. Just keep going.
Has it been worth it then, Olu?
What, this journey?
The journey.
Yeah.
Has the journey been worth it?
100%. Because if I wasn't, then all these opportunities I'm getting now, the conversations I'm having now with the people I'm having, I probably wouldn't even have them. So...
Would you be the man that you are now with all of these disappointments, all of the ups and downs?
No. I always used to say God hates me. That's how I used to look at it.
Wow.
Because how can I go from the next big thing to nothing? And I probably people won't even probably say it to me, but they'll probably be like, oh, this guy's washed, this guy's a waste man, this guy's this guy's that. And now I'm able to just say, all right, cool, you may think all of those things, but look what I'm doing now.
What do you believe about you, Olu?
I'm a gangster, man, through and through.
What does that mean to you?
It means I'm happier. I'm a lot happier now. I'm a lot more confident in myself. And I'm able to look at myself in the mirror and just be happy with whatever. So before, let's say now, my hair, for example, over the lockdown, I've had all sorts of different colours, pink, whatever, you name it. I've dyed my hair, did this, done this.
Is that how you define gangster? You just being free to do what you want
to
to do?
Me.
Doing you.
Just be happy with yourself. Just being happy with yourself. That's the most important thing. I'm not all the way there yet, but I'm on the road.
Nice one. That's beautiful.
I'm on a more straighter road than I was before. Before I was at too many junctions, too many dead ends, too many having to U-turns, 3-point turns, roundabouts, all that kind of stuff. I know what I want. So in knowing what I want and knowing how I'm going to achieve it, I'm able to focus all my energy to that. No one can deroot me for what I'm trying to do now.
Knowing what you want and moving towards that goal, that's what's keeping you going
and
right
knowing
now.
how I'm going to get there.
And knowing how.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
So I've planned, and the thing is, I'm always 10 steps ahead of it. So let's say, before I jump into anything, I'll think of every negative first. If I can't overcome it in my head first, I won't do it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, man.
Nah, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've been in the company of a great man, Olumide Durojaiye.
Come on.
Thank you so much for viewing and being with us on the Dr. Prince Show. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Big.